Guys, if you've been a fan of my channel for a while, you know the love that I have for Ridge. Our collaboration with Ridge has been an awesome union, which has turned into a great friendship. So it should be no surprise that Ridge has leveled up once again. The best wallet that you can buy just got a little bit better. Ridge is now offering a limited edition Bad Guy Ink wallet. If you haven't tried the Ridge wallet yet, now's the time for you to change your pocket game. The Ridge wallet, it's light, sleek, industrial, and is now Bad Guy Ink inspired. Guys, it's a game changer. You're gonna love it. But if you don't, there is a 90-day free trial. These official Bad Guy Ink wallets are limited. Only 1,000 wallets will be made, and a percentage of the sales will go to Hire Heroes USA, an organization that helps military members, veterans, and military spouses to find new careers. So go to ridge.com to order yours today. Make sure you use the promo code Chael to get this special deal. Usyk. You guys know that name, Usyk? I could be saying it wrong. I don't want to disrespect him. The Ukrainian who's the champion, who beat Joshua. Usyk. Is that correct? Getting ready to fight Tyson Fury. Now, that's awesome. That's awesome, right? Tyson Fury's back. He told us he was retiring. 93,000 people came out to say goodbye to him. Before he left the ring that night, he brought Francis in to let the world know he wasn't retiring. But I'm just sharing with you, like, Fury's coming back and Usyk's the guy. This is a massive opportunity for Usyk. I didn't know who Usyk was, and those of you that did know who he was didn't give him a lot of credit, right? Well, you really did think Anthony Joshua was the guy. So it's an upset, whatever. Whatever happens. But Tyson Fury came out as soon as that was done and said, no, I don't have an interest in fighting Anthony Joshua. And the whole boxing community just went, no, wait, oh, man. That was still a fight they wanted. We'll patch up Anthony and we'll put a couple of microphones on him and get a camera and a training say, we're going to run him out there with Tyson, even coming off this loss. We're going to run him out there with Tyson. That's the fight everybody wants to see. And the boxing community was right. They would have made a lot of money. That would have drawn really well. But I remember what Tyson Fury said. Tyson Fury changed it like that, and Tyson knows what time it is. If anyone knows how to make money in boxing, it's Tyson. This is one of the great partners in the history of the sport that a promoter could work with. But I still remember what he said. He said, no, he wasn't interested. The biggest fight out there, this wasn't a strategy to then end up with a fight. He was being completely candid. In many ways, this is what ended the talk. They still, boxing still could have put those two in there together. They were moving in that direction. He had Tyson Fury come in and sandhagging the whole situation, but I remember why he did it. He said, I never had an issue with Anthony Joshua. Now, that's totally different than what we believed. We thought these two despised one another. We thought England's not big enough. He said, no, I was after the unification of the championship belts. He ain't got that belt anymore. Means I ain't got no business with him. This is what he said. And he moved on. And that's why Tyson ended up on Usyk, because Tyson wasn't kidding. He wasn't bluffing at all. And think about that. Think about the power within the championship. Think about the way and the perception that you have of guys with the championship. The biggest fight boxing could make, which means the guy that could make the absolute most money, himself, said that doesn't interest me. I'm not here for the money. I'm not here for a personal grudge. I'm here for the unification of the championships. And whichever direction I have to go to unify those championships is the direction I'll go in. And he meant it. That is outstanding leadership in the sport of boxing. Boxing that does not have leadership. That was an outstanding, forthcoming, upright statement and move and decision by Tyson. And he didn't get any credit. Boxing people, well, they don't look at it like that. They don't realize what shambles they're in. They don't realize that the WBA got Jake Paul to show up to a press conference and then made a belt for him. You guys know that? They tried to present it to him. They said all the words. They tried to get Jake said, no, I haven't earned that. No. But what Jake had to really be thinking inside is, man, how have I ever respected you as an organization? I wouldn't have if I'd known you just make belts up and hand them out because a famous guy shows up to your press conference. was a humiliating moment in boxing. But as humiliating as that was, or should have been for them, this was the other side of the coin. This was Tyson really standing up, and it's important, guys. The high favor that you're looking at Jon Jones with right now is not the same if that match had been what that match should have been, which was a number one contenders match. You'd be hyped and you'd be talking about it, and Jones still has it, and Jones and Francis are getting closer, and it would just be one of these great moments, but you wouldn't look at Jon the same if that match had been what it should have been, which was a contenders match. Very different with the belt, isn't it? And the way that you view Francis now that he no longer has the belt. And they're still in high regard, right? Don't think you have to tell me that. I'm just sharing, but there is a difference, isn't there? And possibly it's just what Tyson Fury told us it was. My interest comes with the belt. My ability to want to fight you and my personal grudge with you that extends to my coaches and my training and my old man comes because you have that piece of iron. And if you don't have it, then my interest goes with it, not with you. It was a very powerful and very interesting thing. I mean, I don't think that we're ever going to see the day. But just so you understand at home, okay, there are not promoters out there around the world that are unheard of. There's not promoters that are sitting there with money and distribution and the ability. And moreover, okay, the one thing that keeps boxing alive, the number one thing is a guy with money that's willing to be separated from it. When we run out of guys willing to lose money, that's when we run out with boxing events. There aren't promoters sitting around the world, just so you understand, reading this information that Francis is free. Hearing that him and Tyson want to go make a match. Hearing that Deontay Wilder is also available. And they're just waiting to pop their head up. That doesn't exist. There's 5 men. And by men, I mean men. 5 humans alive that know how to make money, which means you have a business where your profits are larger than your expenditures. There's 5 men alive that know how to sustain in the combat sports model. Those 5 men, no matter how much you think they're in competition with each other, no matter how much you think they're going to do things quiet, no deal will be reached prior to a promoter popping up, calling the second floor of the UFC located in Southern Nevada and saying, "May I please speak to Mr. White?" And when they get on the phone with them, that guy's going to introduce himself. And he's going to tell him what the plan is. And he's going to ask him if that's okay. Not maybe. Not that could be the way it happens. 100% for sure, before anybody goes and books that match, they will call and ask Dana. Now, within that ask, where they're trying to appear as polite, where they're trying to appear as respectful, they just don't want him to counter-program them. It's as simple as that. Hey, man, are you interested in this? Because I got 2 front row seats, man. I would love to can I do that? Would you let me do that? Would you let me bring you in as our special guest? I'll put you in the absolute best seats. Just means, hey, Dana, because this call happened, because I did this right, will you not counter-program me, please? Will you not throw an event on this date? You don't have this date booked. You know I'm all in on this one. You know what a big risk this is. Would you just do that, please? That's what that call really means, just so you understand. But that's how sure you can be that that call is going to happen. And I bring that because what if? What if when that call comes? For sure it's going to happen. What if Dana says, yeah, I love the idea. Francis versus Tyson Fury. I love it. Yeah, I will be there. I'll take you up on that. Yeah, I'm going to bring my son. So you said 2 tickets in the front row. Yeah, that's great. I'm going to let Junior know. Hey, by the way, what do you think about doing Tyson versus Jon Jones instead? And the guy's going to say, my God, of course I like that idea better. Jon Jones is the world champion. He's the number one. Of course, I'd rather have Jon, but I can't have Jon. He's under contract with you. Yeah, you know what? Got to loosen up on this boxing thing. I think you got something special there. Well, I'll probably have to work out some co-promote where I'll loan him out. We'll work some fee with the company. But yeah, why don't you take Jon? Do you understand? It's really important that you understand the order of this, okay? Nobody's popping up with Francis versus fill in the blank. Nobody. 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 They will call Dana first. Dana says, fine, it's cool in the gang. He won't counter-program them. Probably isn't going to show up to their event, but he will appreciate it to a level. For sure he will. But if he said, why don't you take Jones instead? And I don't think that you guys understand the difference in business there. Not only would that stop instantly, Jon Jones is only going to do another fight or two in the UFC anyhow. That's one of the big differences. Francis had a lot of shelf life left. We know he's at least 36 years old. We don't know how old he is, but boy, looking at the division, looking at who he's already beat. I mean, if you can get Velasquez the hell out of there and make DC not even come back to the division, you must be pretty good. It's a very different scenario to try to imagine that Jon Jones is going to stick around. I mean, if Jon Jones has to do the Sergis and the Sergeys and the Aspinalls and the Curtis Blades, that's a totally another risk. You're asking the greatest ever to run a risk of losing to a Sergi or a Sergey. That's a totally different ask than asking him to pass the torch to Gon or an Ngannou or a Stipe. It's a totally different ask. And just making sure that you understand how this is going to go. There aren't, you got these promoters that are just sitting around, they're waiting to pop up, but they're going to go do something. The order of events don't ever kick off until a call is made to the second floor of the Ultimate Fighting Championships located in Southern Nevada. You put on your critical thinking hat. You tell me what would happen if the voice on the other end says, I love the idea, but how about you take our champion? Wouldn't you rather have him? Do you understand how fast this house of cards falls?